it's really wonderful. This has been a project that we've been working on this year to make sure that the gender gap that exists in photography, at least in some smaller way, we can bring some works to all of you. And before we move forward, I am very grateful and excited to have Ms. Anita Ratnam and Dr. Kathleen working with us today, along with Mr. Sovan Kumar. We will begin with the lamp lighting, and then we will start with a small tour where Katrina and myself will present some of the works to you, and also we have our artists here who you'll have a chance to meet. The CPB4 launches in a few phases. This is the first phase. The second phase will open in Jan, and there is a likelihood of a third phase in Feb. And the Biennale closes on 16th of March. There are a lot of programs that are happening this weekend, as well as they will happen in each of the phases. So please do follow us on Instagram or subscribe for any of the programs. Very happy to have you all here. I would also like to really have a huge round of applause for my team. And they have magically made all the shows possible. We have, of course, a lot of invited projects this time that are happening in different galleries and different spaces in Chennai. All the information is there on the CPB website. Thank you so much for joining us. I invite our guest of honor to please come to light the lamp.
Ma'am, look here, ma'am.
It was, but it is That's wonderful. Almost. Yeah. Thank you, Katrina, for beginning this project for us. When we started thinking about it, it was a grant that actually I had applied for, hoping that that would have come through. It didn't. But as always, Katrina has been a big supporter of the CPB4 and also has been a pretty solid driving force behind all of us to make sure that all of the works, the show that we launched in the morning, and the show as well, she's really worked very, very intimately with all of us. So I think we will try and do justice to all the works that we have brought in. So today we have 5 artists with us. We have Indu, Antony, we have Radha, Rathi right here. We have Farheen, Fatima. Yes, Farheen, Fatima. We have Cooke behind from Germany. And we have Prarthna Singh somewhere. I hope I haven't really seen her yet. But we would like to invite you in, and Katrina and I will take you through some of the works. And also, I would hope that towards the end of this, we might be able to support more women in photography, because the gender gap is real, and that's the whole idea of bringing in diverse practices from practitioners from all over the world. Thank you. 6:30, we have a talk at the Rathi Institute with one of our artists, Cooke, with Katrina and Ms. Anita Ratnam. It's a wonderful talk of mothers in the arts and what is the space for mothers and parents in the arts. So please do join us after the show. Let's.
Let me start with this. You can see what it is. It's free feminist advice. When we started this project, we asked well-known feminists as well as the artists from this exhibition to share some advice with us, feminist advice. To our very big surprise, they were all reluctant. All of them were like, who are we to give advice to others? And that's very complicated, which took us by surprise, because if women are used to one thing, it's getting unwanted advice all of their lives. So we said, this is your chance to actually consciously pass on advice that you think could be useful for someone else. The idea is it works a little bit like the Wheel of Fortune. So you can get your advice, but you don't know which one it is. You're not a feminist if you body shame yourself or other women. Liberate yourself by unlearning toxic beauty standards. And the idea is that you do this at the beginning of the show, and ideally it gives you a little bit of a framework or a setup with which you then look at the art to come. Or maybe not. Maybe you choose that this is not an advice you would like to look at, which is also fine.
Thank you, Katharina. This was one of the more interesting ideas that we brought to the project, because while of course there is a very interesting curation here, I think we also felt that just having the works was not enough. We needed some more engagement. We wanted to leave you behind with something that maybe, whether you frame it, you put it on your fridge, you just keep it as a bookmark, but something we need to probably constantly remind ourselves. So I will take you through some of the artist works, if you could please follow me, and then Katharina will join in and share some more. These like the National Gallery of Scotland, Autograph, Workshop Pro, and many others. And this is a work where they went and upskilled other women who were asylum seekers. So their idea is, how can we train women to be more skilled to tell their own stories? And this is a beautiful work that they have made. It's also a book called Putting Ourselves in the Picture. So this is work that they have reached out, that they have worked all the way around. Each of the organizations brought in their expertise to train women. 50% of asylum seekers happen to be women, and they do not have the wherewithal to earn at times, especially when they are displaced or they are forcibly having to migrate. So this is a collage of the entire collectives and the organizations' activities with the women and the works that they have produced. You please spend some time with it and we will move forward. Full curation called A Shared Room by Offset Projects. The beautiful thing about this show is that it's a mix of not just photography, it's a mix of publishing initiatives. Women are actually working in a lot of spaces. This particular curation has, it's presenting 10 artists. Particular work that you're seeing here by Indu is a work on maps. And this is how she has worked and created a map of Delhi and how unsustainable, uninhabitable it can be. And yet we're using materiality to preserve some of these ideas and to present some of these ideas in very interesting forms. Presented work as part of the show, but I'm going to read the
I'd like to present the artist Cooke to you. Cooke has done a work that is called Ada versus Emin and Ada versus Abramovich.
Yeah, so when I became a mother, my baby daughter Ada, she's now 6 years old, so no baby anymore. But back then, I was looking for, like you said, role models in the art world for mothers and artists at the same time, and like to present it and speak about it and normalize it as it is. Someone sitting there is Marina Abramovich, a double, and you can see in the video how I am entering the room, holding my baby Ada and nursing her. And the same thing with Tracy Emin, who made the famous bed. So there's this bed, it's very messy, and she had 3 or 4 depressive nights, and you can really see it. There's alcohol, there are pills, and it's really dirty. And so no surrounding where you would nurse a baby or take care of a baby. So I thought I would take this work and sit with my baby in this bed and confront the artist Tracy Emin with her statement. So please enjoy and feel free to sit here and watch the videos.
I thought about it because Nony Singh, who is a wonderful photographer and archivist, and she is the primary reason that Dayanita Singh, who we all know is a photographer today. She is Dayanita Singh's mother, and she's somebody who was born in Lahore and started photographing early on, pretty much around the age of 7 or 8, and since then she moved to India when the partition happened, and she got married to someone from Punjab, and finally her father-in-law gave her a camera, and she continued to document her family, and she just continued to document, building archives, building albums after albums.
Started this project Cecilia meet with screen and then 10 years. So it's like a little part of our friendship. Also, we wanted to talk about city and how safe the city can be. More about this project I'll talk tomorrow at a talk. I know it's at around 4 o'clock. But it's a love connection between me and Cecilia, and I'm very happy to show this work. It's the first time I'm showing it, so I'm very happy to get your assistance. Of course, as well, if we speak about women, do you speak of the goddesses, and how do you speak of the goddesses? So this is a really interesting project that documents how goddesses are being depicted. And if you look at the name of the project, I glitter you with my 1,000 eyes. Our relationship with goddesses and what has everything to do with goddesses. We now have a project that looks at the harsh realities of certain communities. Bhumika Saraswati, and her work looks at how people are connected with their environment and what it does to people if that environment changes. So her idea is also to say, in an ideal case, people connected with their environment. This should be the relation we have with our surroundings, but we do not respect this is not the case. Her name is Kiki, she's a photojournalist, and her work is titled Food. Anyone in German knowledge? Some of them are really happy to come to Germany for they say it's 3 months where they are it's perfect, they're going to come back next year.
Probably they know that this is AI generated. One of the reasons, in spite of all the debate around AI and photography, the reasons why we still decided to go ahead with this work was because this artist, Delphine, she's of French Senegalese origin, currently lives in Brooklyn in the US. And her attempt was to look at her Senegalese history, the kingdom of Kush as it was, and how does she bring back a history which is not necessarily just theoretical, which is not necessarily from years and years of archives that might have been handed down, but how does she go back into deep research and recreate a visual element that would. And to my right is still you, is Dr. Katrina Bogan, a wonderful supporter of CPB and played a pivotal role in totally ideating this show with me. So thank you so much, Katrina. I know you from, say, the British Council and Pro Helvetia, who have helped us bring some of the artists down for workshops and for the exhibition. And I missed having Radha Rathi with us here before. Please meet Radha. Radha, do you want to speak 2 minutes about your work since you were not around? And maybe I'll also ask Prarthna to speak 2 minutes. Okay, we'll start with Prarthna.
If you would like to, it's right at the end of the room. The work is called Champion. It's a body of work that I've made for the past 10 years, since 2010. 2015, where I visit camps where young women who are training to be wrestlers and boxers. And when you see the work, you'll see that there are a series of 6 black and white portraits of these women, all between the ages of 30 to about 21 is when they arrive in these camps. Women use their bodies as tools of resistance. Strength and resilience and vulnerability are 2 sides of the same coin, and usually occupy those spaces. And this entire show, I think, is a testimony to that.
Thank you for making
already over here, and I think Shuchi also took you through the work. Now, I have been shooting this work last 2.5 years. Most of the work is shot analog, and some of it is collages. I do a lot of work that is layered, because I'm myself discovering some meaning through the layering of the work that I end up making with these works. But what was interesting was that when I visited these temples, it was interesting to see the way the structures were divided between the men and women, and a lot of them actually look similar. So the clothes they are wearing, the clothes some men are wearing, the clothes children are wearing, all of that looked really similar. It was interesting to study that type of structures in places which are visited by these people almost every single day.
has done full justice to what the artist